All right, kids, settle down. Your teacher's just a smidge hungover, and he's got a great lesson planned for you today. I'm joking, of course. Hangovers are for children, and dudes are into quad bikes. I feel like 7 orgasms right now, and that's only partially because of the 7 orgasms I just had. Last night, we witnessed an absolute tour de fornication in sweaty graps, the likes of which may not be seen again for literal months. You had Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Ricochet, EC3, Kairi Sane, Mustache Mountain, and Johnny freaking motherfucking Wrestling, fighting for their lives in our bloodlust in Brooklyn on Saturday. And whilst you, the uneducated masses, may have watched fully erect with anticipation, there were some lessons that you might have missed hidden behind the attempted murder. My name is Jeremy Goddamn Masters. Welcome to the Masterclass. NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4. Do the music we don't have. It's okay, we'll fix it with Patreon money we don't have. We open the night with Undisputed Era versus Mustache Mountain for the NXT Tag Team Championships in what hotly contends for match of the night. The scrappy, capricious Era faced down the mightily arousing Mountain, and the ensuing festival of flesh-slapping did not disappoint. It was a hard-fought slog for Mustache Mountain, but late into the bout we encountered shades of their last match in NXT, where that fuzzy little otter Tyler Bate threw in the towel to prevent Trent Seven from getting Lieutenant Danned by Kyle O'Reilly. Only this time, the roles were reversed, and Tyler was in the clutches of Huey's brutal assault, being targeted for injury by O'Reilly in what is commonly referred to as a dick move. Trent, sensing that breakage was imminent, grabbed a towel from the timekeeper to forfeit the match, but, convinced by Tyler's pleas, mustered all the big dick energy he possessed and trusted his partner's ability to rally, and rally they did. To a loss. They lost anyway. Which leads us to our first lesson of the night, students. Trent, you know my love for you prickly little cutie pies burns with the intensity of my undiagnosed HPV. But sometimes, you just gotta know when to walk away. Moving on, we had our token non-title match of the evening, once again featuring sexual apothecary Velveteen Dream, taking on Nips Quarterly's 2-time Nips of the Year winner, EC3, and about many have called probably more exciting on any other card. Sure, Dream's win here may have been overshadowed by the technical brilliance of the other matches on the show, but if there's anything you can take from the bout, it's our second lesson. The comparatively forgettable do well to get it over with early. By the time the audience leaves, they won't even remember this completely acceptable match between two juggernauts of the world stage, because on this night, they weren't being judged on the world stage, but the NXT stage, and that's a hell of an obstacle to overcome. Marking the show's hump match, we had our North American champion, Adonis Culberfer Bartholomew, taking on indie veteran challenger Flippy Flippy Bang Bang. That's right, it was Adam Cole and Ricochet in this match, and they put some stank on this it would soften even Jim Cornette's boiled egg of a heart. Take note, the Revival, while you may be no flips, just fists, our boy Ricochet is out here flipping and fisting everything and anything he can get his sexy little inked-up hands on. 2 Chainz, 2 Furious dispatched of Adam Cole in typically flashy fashion, not to be confused with fashy flashin', which is where you show your dick to Nazis. In the end, Ricochet walked away with the gold, proving our third lesson of the night. Sometimes flippy shit just gets the job done. In the evening's penultimate matchup, we had the Queen of Spades taking on the Ace of Base for the NXT Women's Championship. That's a nautical joke, because Ace of Base, their name was inspired by a Nazi submarine outpost. Ace of Base were Nazis. Look it up. There's probably significantly more Nazi material in this lesson than there will be in the future. Don't read too much into that. Pirate Princess and subject to my secret diaries, which are going to confuse the hell out of some poor NSA investigator, Kairi Sane, brought the heat against Shayna Baszler in this fight, and it wasn't a slow build either. She matched that juggalette's intensity from the bell, and she didn't let up for a moment. They spent the last 5 minutes going back and forth with submission attempts, only for Kairi to win with a sneaky roll-through 3 count, which brings us to lesson 4. There's no wrong way to murder a murderer. If that scary punch shark were staring me down, I would feel no shame in running away and poisoning her dinner, and Kairi should feel no shame in taking her title while her windpipe was being compacted like a ball of tinfoil in the most boring YouTube video, erroneously labeled Science and Education. Finally, we come to our main event. Part 3 in the continuing adventures of the 2 angriest men who have ever lived trying to turn each other's faces into wall art. Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. Son of a bitch, these guys are monsters. Every time you think they've taken it as far as it can go, they go further. And they've shown that there's nothing they won't do to top the other. If Johnny were feuding with Charlie Manson, he'd have murdered 2 pregnant actresses by now just to show he's not fucking around. In a last man standing match for the NXT Championship, Johnny and Tommaso released a year's worth of pent-up hate-fuck energy to liquefy the organs of their opponent. And they were not shy about the materials they used to do it. Wood, metal, rope, barrier, the corpse of a guy who probably had a family. Whatever surface they could find, they set out to prove that they could phase each other's skulls through it. The fight culminated in Tommaso getting handcuffed to the set and Johnny shattering his kneecap across his opponent's orbital socket, putting both men on the ground. But who would have guessed it would be Ciampa to stand up first, retaining his belt and going up 2-1 in the series. Our final lesson of the day, students: hate cannot be restrained. Ciampa has now beaten Gargano 2 matches in a row while handcuffed. 2 matches. Handcuffed. And he won. Does that sound like the actions of a man with substandard willpower? No, of course not. Those are the actions of the man who killed my faith in Jesus Christ. Children who watched this match can now legally be tried as adults. If Woody and Buzz were in the room while this match was playing, they would have turned into regular toys, and anyone who tried to play with them would develop a new strain of hepatitis. Tommy Blackheart's gaze is the opposite of a Care Bear stare. There is nothing that will prevent this man from hating Johnny Gargano to death. There you have it. Those are your lessons from Takeover Brooklyn 4. Thank you for joining me, students. I've been your teacher, Jeremy Goddamn Masters, and this has been the Masterclass. You're welcome.